Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. This is going to be a recent finds video, a great haul actually. One of those kind of once every 1 or 2 year type of hauls. Where I just found, some really good stuff at some, incredible prices here. So I just thought I'd just kind of share that really quick before I went to bed, and again, just kind of share it. So, today's Easter, so kind of a when it comes to mid-afternoon, kind of a relaxing day, somewhat laid back. A lot of places are closed and that type of thing. And with the weather being real nice, I thought, well, I'm going to kind of go out and about for a bit and just, kind of go do a few things. And I decided to go to the record store, and not even thinking that so many places are closed, Easter and all. But I went ahead and went over there anyway, and they were open. They just had kind of, short hours today. So I went in, there's like nobody there. There's like 2 people looking around and 4 employees, so like nobody there. And I started kind of browsing, and I've gotten really good to it, finally getting myself to the point over the last year or so where I can actually go into a record store and browse and not have to come out with something. That used to be very difficult for me in the past. So I go in, not really looking to spend any money, and they have some new box sets, some trade-ins they got, which are really, really awesome. And I thought, no, not spending any money today, so I'm going to pass on those. I went and looked at the CDs, a couple good things here and there, but nothing I have to have right now. So I'm doing good. I looked through the vinyl, the new vinyl section. They have some kind of neat things, even though they're new vinyls, typically overpriced. But I'm like, okay, so, and usually I do not go to their used section because, number one, it's almost always overpriced. Number 2, they usually don't have good stuff in there, and well, that's how many more excuses do you need? Usually overpriced and don't have really good stuff. And even if they do have good stuff, it ends up being overpriced and blah blah blah. So, but I thought, just browsing though, I just kind of out and about, I'll just flip through the used section this time. And I'm flipping through and I find a copy of something where I pull it up, I'm like, whoa, okay, number one, finding this used is something you usually don't find. So they got me kind of excited. I thought, let me see how much it is. Then I looked at the back, and this record was marked at $4. And I'm like, what in the world? So my first instinct was, okay, there's something really wrong with it. There's a gigantic scratch down one of the LPs or something like that. So I go to look at it and realize, oh, it's sealed. I pull it out of the sleeve, and it's sealed. So I'm like, what in the heck is going on? So I went and asked the guy about it, and he said, yeah, we just got this big shipment in from another store of a bunch of overstock. And I guess when they ship it to the stores the way they do, they allow them to put it in their used bins and put them at used prices just so they can move it and get it out of their stores. So when he told me that, after I saw this one record, I just dove in and I'm like, okay, now I'm going to look through every single one of these used stacks A through Z. And I did, and ended up pulling out a ton of stuff here. So with the sale that they had there and the way they were doing the sale, each one of these ended up being right at about $4 a piece. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind as I go through this awesome haul. Again, just so really, really excited about this. So we'll start off here with Lenny Kravitz. Oh, and I should mention too, every single one of them were sealed too. These are all brand new copies of everything. Lenny Kravitz Strut. Very cool 2 LP set to add to the Kravitz collection. I love Lenny Kravitz. I love his stuff, but a lot of his newer stuff is, I have been wanting to get it for quite some time, but I was never willing to pay, $25 or $30 for like this album. So again, it's been very, very nice finding it and able to get it in my collection for so cheap. But because I do love Lenny, but I looked for his older stuff first when it came to buying vinyl. So. Lenny's a cool cat, boy, I tell you. And you have to call him a cat. He's not a dude, he's not a man, he's a cat. That's how cool he is. He's one of the coolest cats in all of music. So, that was a good find. And then I also was able to get Black and White America by Lenny. Another one I've wanted for a couple of years now, but again, was just never willing to pay $30 for this record. And so, again, awesome find, awesome edition, nice brand new copy. Picked up a copy of Placebo, Loud Like Love. Another awesome find. I've heard a couple of tracks off of this before, but it'd be kind of nice now to be able to actually sit back and kind of check out the entire album, because I do love Placebo. This is their 2013 release. Good addition to the metal collection. High on Fire. Blessed Black Wings. So another great 2 LP set. You know, one of the more consistent bands out there. I mean, when you buy a High on Fire album, you kind of know what to expect. That they do what they do well, and they definitely stick to their formula. So, you know, actually, I listened to this earlier today, and I mean, yeah, just like all their other stuff, really good heavy, sludgy kind of stuff. Now, the next two are probably the two biggest in the find, and the next one I'm going to show here is actually the one that I stumbled across that I thought, oh, the price is marked, there must be something wrong with it or something. But again, it was a sealed copy. But you cannot beat a $4 copy of Iron Maiden's From Fear to Eternity, the best of 1990 to 2010. Awesome 3 LP set. I think it's a picture disc, which, you know, but there's one group I will accept picture disc from. It's Iron Maiden. But yeah, again, I just couldn't believe it when I pulled it out of the stacks, and I was like, what in the world? But you know, awesome find. Because you know, typically if you see these brand new at any other store and online, you're talking anywhere from $45 to $55, you know, for that 3 LP set. So to find that for $4 was just awesome. And like I said, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm digging through every single record here before I leave to see what else they have. And sure enough, I also stumbled across this one. Another awesome $4 find. Somewhere Back in Time. The best of, this is 1980 to 1989. 2 LP set. Again, I think these are picture discs. Don't quote me on that. But another very nice sealed copy. So more good stuff there. This is one I wasn't as familiar with as far as just as an album. I mean, of course, I know Bootsy Collins, but I've never really heard this album. But again, nice 2 LP set, and I thought definitely worth checking out. So I'll have to give that a listen and kind of see what Bootsy's doing on that. Those of you that are really into kind of the old R&B and funk and that type of thing, you know, Bootsy is legendary with Parliament and all those guys. Josh T. Pearson. This is an album I've seen in record stores for I don't know how long now. And I remember a long time ago listening to 1 or 2 tracks online and thinking it was okay, but nothing that made me want to like run out and, you know, buy it. But you know, as far as paying full price for it. But then again, seeing it for that amount, I thought, yeah, definitely an album I wouldn't mind having. So I'm looking forward to kind of really sitting down and absorbing that one too from front to back. I picked up a copy of Belle and Sebastian. Third Eye Center here. Another nice 2 LP set. I'm not familiar with this album. I have a number of their things, but I do not and have not heard this one yet. But I typically love what they do, so I'm sure I'll end up liking this one as well. Here's one that was just a complete blind buy. I pretty much picked this off just based off the cover. I mean, really. Friendly Fires. Well, I take that back. I did listen to one song in the store on my phone. I'm sorry, just 1 second. Go back up. But yeah, it seems kind of like a, I don't know, a dance popish type of album or something like that. But again, I've only heard one song so far, but I thought again for $4 I'll give it a try, and even in the worst case scenario, I'm sure someone in the VC is probably a big fan of that album. Then you got this one here, which is Lordy. Again, another album I remember listening to a couple years ago in a store. I remember checking it out and thought that it was kind of neat, but didn't necessarily think it was worth, you know, the full price they were asking at the time. But it was worth it today. So that was another nice pickup. And then the last two here, Phantom Voices. Another nice 2 LP pickup. And last but not least, again, another one I just have kind of needed in my collection but always held off on buying, Chicken Foot. With Hagar and Anthony and all those guys. It's already open. This one I'm gonna start listening to it actually tonight, but didn't quite get to it. But yeah, again, the Chickenfoot's been out forever, and it's actually been priced pretty decent for quite some time. I mean, I think it was originally like a $20 album. I've seen them in FYEs for $10 a piece for the longest time, but it still just wasn't quite, you know, I just don't want it that bad. There's some good stuff on there, but I just don't want it quite that bad. But you knock it down to 4, and I finally got a copy of Chickenfoot in my collection. So again, some, you know, awesome hauls for, or pieces I should say, for that price, and I was really excited to find those. Oh, one more I should say, because this is one of those albums too. I know as collectors, I'm sure, especially those that have been collecting for a long time, even those that haven't been collecting that long. I mean, I've been collecting 7-8 years now or so, which isn't long, so to speak. But you know, sometimes there just seems to be those 1 or 2 albums that just always seem to gravitate towards you, like you have some type of gravitational pull that jives with that album for whatever reason. And I have 2 of them. One is Pink Floyd The Wall. I always seem to find great, I mean really great condition, near mint copies of Pink Floyd The Wall, and they're never running more than $5 or $6 in whatever weird way that I find them. And I've probably given out, I think, 2 copies in VCLT alone with Pink Floyd The Wall, and I have 2 copies myself. And the other album that really happens with me a lot, or happens for me a lot, I guess that's the way you say that, is Disturbed's Asylum. And again, I found this, again, brand new sealed copy for only $4. And this is probably I think the 5th copy of this album, brand new copy of this album that I've found for around that amount. You know, they just always seem to somehow find their way around. So, and I know I've given out 2 of these in VCLT in the past as well. So, again, you know, it figures in a haul like this that Disturbed will somehow poke its nose out again. But so those are all the album finds that I had. And one other find I want to show, this actually happened earlier in the week. Again, I'm going to start going out with this attitude of not buying or purchasing anything, because it just seems like the universe wants to throw very cheap stuff at you when that happens. I was headed to a meeting, I was out of town, and there's this used bookstore that I stop by sometimes, just to browse, look at books, and they have some CDs and a few records and that type of thing. And so I stop and I browse, and those scenes in movies you have sometimes, like where someone's I'm thinking about a movie in particular, a Sorority Boys actually, where he's dressing up like a girl and he's in the stacks looking for a dress his size, and he finds it and he goes like, yes! Like he jumps up and everyone looks at him all weird. For the first time, it actually happened to me with something I found musically in a store, where I'm flipping through the CDs and I see the title, because they're all sitting like vertically, they're not facing you, but where they kind of down in the, where you only see the spines of the CDs. And I saw it, and my first thing was, yes! And the lady actually looked over at me, and she's like, you find something you like? It's like, yeah, I think so. It was kind of cool though. But I could not believe it, in this little random used bookstore, to stumble across Better Off Dead soundtrack on CD. And not only that, a sealed copy of it. If I can find, where's the spine there? Right there. A sealed copy of it. Now I know DJ Thunder and a few other people that I know are really into the 80s and 80s soundtrack and really appreciate this. This is an extremely hard CD to find, period. I've never seen one actually sealed with all the original, in the original packaging. And I mean, again, you can look online right now and you'll see some of these used ones running anywhere from $120 to $140. So to find one of these sitting in a bin for $14, which is as much as I paid for any CD in the past probably 4 or 5 years. I just don't pay that much for CDs. But they had $14 marked on it, and I was like, you know what? I mean, I snagged it and ran. So another awesome find. So anyway, great haul for the week. I mean, some great exciting stuff, and as always, you guys let me know what you think, and we will talk to you soon. All right, thanks, VC.